Hey, how you guys doing? It's AndreButler here in Detroit. Excited to hang out with you guys today, to go live with you. As you're joining us, let me know where you're joining us from. Love to acknowledge you, and hi to all those who are catching this a little bit later. It's a cold day in Detroit again. You know, we had a few days in the 70s and things look great, and now, we're back to, maybe things will be a little chilly, even though it's May, but God's still good. So I see we got a few people joining us already. Hi, Renita. How are you doing? Armani and G. Harris. Hey, Ray. How you doing? Queen Esther and Blessed and Highly Favored. Marab and Brianna, Felicia, and Raquel. What's up, cuz? How you doing? Good afternoon. Glad to be able to connect with you guys today. I'm excited about what we're going to talk about today. Our guest is actually already with us, Catherine Eagan, and she's got a lot of great things to say. And frankly, I hope you're ready because I know you're going to really get a lot out of this today. I see MHMDY has joined us, and the 5'6" autistic. I still struggle with that one. Autistic skater. All right. Good to catch up with you. Hey, Karen. Well, thank you. I'm glad it helped you. Glad you definitely enjoyed it. So while people are jumping on, just wanted to share. I like to kind of share what I'm thinking about, right? My thought of the day. And a lot of times it's just coming out of my own life. And frankly, for me, Proverbs 3:6 is really 3:5 is really resonating with me this morning. Trust the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. And, it's hard sometimes to do that, to trust God with everything. I don't know about you, but I have definitely found myself telling God, well, that won't work. That won't work. I need more money than that, or I need this or that or the other, or this has to happen for that to happen, and end up looking like a fool. God has already been where we're trying to go, right? He sees the beginning, the end from the beginning. He already has laid out a path to get you to the destination he's put in your heart. And at some point, you just have to make a decision to trust him, even if it doesn't make sense to you, right? Even if you're not sure that's the best path, even if you're not sure that's will produce the results that you want, he knows best. I mean, he says, my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. And so we need to yield to the fact, that truth, right? That if God is saying go left, and we think we should go right, we need to go left. And if we can, do it without complaining, right? And so I think that's something that's really resonating with me today. Just trusting God, just trust him. If he says something in his word, trust it. If he says something to you in prayer, or just even prompting you throughout the day, kind of give you a little whisper, a little nudge in your heart, trust him, roll with it. And you're going to find that even if you have some obstacles, and even if you have some moments where you're like, hey, this isn't working, if you just stick with what God is saying, you're going to find he's right. And you'll get to that destination that you're looking for, the future that God has for you. So, all right. Well, the Uncommon Chanel is with us, and hey, Brian's with us. Brian, we have Catherine Eagan with us today, so hang on with us. We're about to jump on. In fact, Catherine, if you don't mind, go ahead and wave at me, and we'll just get started. So let's see. Hey, the Brit Factor, how you doing? Hey, Evangelist Hurd, how are you? And Miss Robin, how are you doing? And Nori, how are you? Glad you could join us. And Venetia. Okay, everybody's rolling in. Good. Lady Shell. Hey, Evangelist Hurd. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can find. Here we go. I'll go here. Oops, sorry, y'all. Pressed the wrong button trying to get. Hey, Styles by Lydia. Go ahead and hit the wave emoji, Catherine, if you would, and we can get going, because for whatever reason it won't let me loop you in through your previous post. Let me try that again. And there she is. Okay. I see Wayne has joined us. Good to connect with you, man. I like that. Satan is a master of using weapons of mass destruction. Stay focused. That's true. And sometimes the weapon he uses our own minds, right? He drops thoughts in our hearts, in our mind, and if we're not careful, we won't accept. We'll accept them and we'll think about them and make them our own. Hey, Valencia and Merton, how you doing? Catherine, I pressed the button so it says I'm just waiting for you. So you just have to hit accept. And what's up, Dathan? Got to get you on here one of these days soon. Yeah, I like that, Ray. Distraction. Okay, let me try that again because I lost her. Little technical difficulties, y'all, but we're used to that. There she is.
There you go.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. Doing great.
It's good. It's good. Good to see you.
I know. It's great to see you too. It's great to see you too. How are you doing?
Doing well. Doing well. A little cold. Of course, you're here in Michigan, so
Oh,
this is
I
not
tell
cool
you,
in May.
if it was warm outside, we'd really be in trouble because I think we'd all be outside.
This is true. This is true. Especially here. I always tell my kids, when it's warm in Michigan, you do not stay inside because we don't get enough of this. So,
Yes, indeed.
so of course,
Indeed.
a lot of people that are connected with me they know you. They're very familiar with you, but some people may not. So, do you mind kind of letting everybody know a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, first of all, I've known you and your family forever, since
Mm-hmm.
over 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the banking field for, oh gosh, about maybe 20 years. And so my background is in finance, and I spent a lot of time doing a lot of analysis of high net worth individuals and managing resources for high net worth individuals. So money management is my thing. I was a commercial lender I started out actually my career at MBG, which I'm very grateful for because we got a lot of really good training in the financial business, in the financial industry. Because, of course, when you think about banking, a lot of people don't think about banking this way, but banking is the selling of money.
Mm.
You sell money for a price. You pay
Mm.
an interest
Wow.
rate, you sell money. And so you have to learn the art of selling money, the art
Mm.
of banking, the art of the ability to repay and recapture. So MBD was a really good experience to learn how to do that. Then I went on in my career to work with Detroit Economic Growth Corporation, which was a development company under the auspices of the city of Detroit. And we did a lot of financing of a lot of the commercial properties. And we, like a lot of what you see downtown now, as the planning, the financing, the
Mm-hmm.
struggle, the projects that we all went through at that time. And so it's really a delight for me to see Detroit come back like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked for the Economic Growth Corporation for about 11 years, and I got extremely good information about and training and the world of hard knocks about development and deals that go through, deals that don't go through. So I really got an understanding, not only in my financial life, but in my development life of deal flow. And
Mm-hmm.
this is all going to come together in a moment. And so with the economic growth, it was under Coleman Young. Those
Mm-hmm.
were the high Detroit days where we were
Mm-hmm.
making it happen, putting it down, making it work. Some
Mm-hmm.
stuff was going. I was very involved with the book Cadillac, a lot of projects
Mm-hmm.
that were going on downtown. Well, after that, about 18-hour days for 11 years, I decided to go back into banking. And so I went into wealth management and private banking over at Michigan National.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked there for a number of years. I got training in trust and estate planning and trust background, which was very unusual actually for African Americans at the time. And I was able to continue on with the lending. And so I've just had a really, really great life in work. I
Mm-hmm.
love work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And my husband retired me, and I was like, take me away from all this. So we got married. It's been 22 years now. We got married, and he retired me. And it's every woman's dream. Oh, I want to meet Boaz. I want to retire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all of that. Well, he retired me. So then I was like, okay, what am I going to do now?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is my dream come true. So now I'm a wife, you know,
Mm-hmm.
which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. But I had to really find myself again and not be defined by what I did, but what my gifts were, who I really
Mm-hmm.
was, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd always had an entrepreneurial streak. And so then we decided to go and start businesses. So we started a publishing company, and we published 11 books that are out on the market. You can buy them now.
Mm-hmm.
We began to speak and travel, and we traveled all over the world. We adopted an orphanage in Africa, in the Congo, and we adopted like 100 children, and we would go over there and we would feed them and we would clothe them. And so we had a lot going on. And then we went to a place, a girlfriend of mine, and all of this will come to the fore when I share with you some things that are on my heart today.
Mm-hmm.
Girlfriend of mine invited me to go to Turks and Caicos, which is an island in the Caribbean that's very close to Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
I went to visit her, and I fell in love with the place. Turks and Caicos, Providenciales. I had never heard of it before. She said, you have to come. She introduced me to the premiere. I met a lot of movers and shakers. The long and short of the story is God allowed the opportunity for us to become one of the largest landowners of beachfront property in Turks and Caicos right now. And so what that does is it pulls together my financial background of acquisition, my building background of development, my financial analysis background of putting deals together to buy and sell down in the Caribbean. And I lived in the Caribbean in the past, in Trinidad. And so God just took all of those things, connected all of those dots, so that now I'm a land entrepreneur in the Turks and Caicos Islands. And I happen to be here in Michigan, but in the Turks and Caicos Islands. And we're building a micro resort down in the Turks and Caicos. So it's really interesting to see how God brings all of those skills, those talents, the abilities. I love the scripture where Jesus says, gather up the 12 baskets and everything that remains.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that he even wants you to pick up the leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he wants you to use everything that you have. So every gift that you have, every ability that you have, God wants you to use that. And so he's done that through my life. And it's a very exciting time. So I'm very excited with my life. And I've always been thrilled with my career. And it's just been a wonderful journey in my business life and in my personal life. My personal life is amazing.
Mm-hmm. So God is good, and
yeah,
of course I've had a chance to watch your journey from a distance and up close. And honestly, I consider you and your husband one of the few people that I consider mentors in my life. One of the other ones was just on here, Brian, and so I know who you are and what you've done, and I think it's amazing. And I'm excited to see what happens going forward.
Yeah.
And so, we're in the middle of this COVID-19. Obviously, the whole world is turned upside down.
Yeah.
People are dealing with not just the sickness or the virus, I should say, but the financial upheaval. You have any advice for anybody that might help them financially right now or help them with their business in the middle of this, especially considering we don't really know what's coming next?
Right. Yeah. I'm going to talk on the personal level and then go to the business level.
Okay.
On the personal level, I think, what if you came to a time where you had a moment in life where you could reset? You could just reset everything. You could stop the world. I want to get off for a moment, and you want to reset. Well, nobody wants COVID-19. Nobody wanted that. But the fact of the matter is the world has stopped. And so the question is, what do we then do as a result of that, particularly financially? And so one of the things that you first have to do is take an inventory of where you are financially. I know people say, well, wow, I'm thinking about my bills and this and that and the other, but no, take a look at what your state, the state of your finances are. That's number one. So get a piece of paper or get your computer, however you do it, and write down every single bill, every single obligation that you have, and begin to look at that. Once you understand what those are, let's say credit card, for example, the credit card companies within this environment are allowing people to defer or delay or postpone payments. So even if you're behind, you should call your credit card company and you should ask them if you can get a deferral on the payment. It's important to do this because even though everybody knows that we're in this COVID-19, unless you proactively call and get approval for that, it's not going to necessarily automatically happen. In fact, it probably won't automatically happen. And so you can avoid paying a bill by getting approval from the credit card company to postpone it. This is important because I call it, the name of this game is picking up cash. Picking up cash. It's like pick up sticks. When I was a kid, they had this game. I'm old. They had this game called pick up sticks. You drop the sticks down and then you pick up the sticks without touching. And so the name of this game is pick up cash. So what you have to do is you've got to find every opportunity in your portfolio of finance to pick up cash. How do you pick up cash? Number one, you defer paying cash. So your number one thing is you call your credit card companies. You defer your payments there. You call your landlord. You see if you can defer payments there. You may have your car note. You defer payments there. So all of a sudden, all of the cash that was going out of your bank account, your coffers, you want to keep that cash in hand. You want to control the cash. And I'm not going to say cash is king because I've always said, if anybody knows me, Jesus is king. But cash is close behind.
Right.
So this game is to pick up cash. So now that means you have to be active about it, proactive about it. It means you have to have the courage to call the credit card company. If you have a bank note, the banks are deferring loans. So let's talk about businesses. If you have a business loan, the banks are deferring the business loans and they're putting you can either make an interest payment only, deferring the principal, which is called negative amortization, putting it at the end of the note, and only making interest payments, which is a lot less than what you would pay if you had to make the actual payment. In some instances, like mortgages, they're actually deferring the payment of the mortgage and putting the the payment balance of 3 months on the back of the note, which means for the next 3 months, you won't have payment. So now all of a sudden, your pot of cash is growing because now you're not paying your credit cards, you're not paying your mortgage or your rent, you're reducing it if you can, however you can. You're certainly cutting it back on expenses because the only thing you should be buying now is food. There's no reason for you to go Amazon crazy. There's nothing on Amazon. There's nothing on eBay. The name of the Wealthy Mindset, and I had an organization, it's called the Wealthy Women. And what the wealthy women know is that the name of the game is picking up cash and only investing in appreciating assets. If you're investing in depreciating assets like stuff, then that means there's no value. At the end of this, you ought to come out richer, more financially empowered out of COVID-19 with more money than you went in with. Okay, so I'm challenging everybody that if you have less money coming out of COVID-19, you didn't take care of business. Oh,
that's good.
That is tough for me to say. I love you. I love you. But that's the truth. because right now your expenses are pretty much zero.
Mm-hmm.
You're not buying gas. You don't have to buy clothes. Your finances should be you should be watching your bank account grow. My
Mm-hmm.
bank account, I'm like, praise the Lord. Not because of
Mm-hmm.
COVID-19,
Right.
but because there are opportunities for us to be able to put money aside. And if you love that, just press the amen, press the high
Yeah.
five, press the heart, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because what I'm telling you is that you can become financially stronger, which is almost the antithesis of what the world is thinking. You should be
Right.
stronger coming out of this than before you went into it.
Right.
No question about it. For the entrepreneur,
Mm.
no, let me just go back to the individual. I want to say this about the individual. Once you get your finances straight and you get your mind on that, and you think about the fact that you're supposed to come out of this wealthier, more money, more cash, that's the goal. That is the premium goal. Okay, so if you don't deliver on that, then I'm holding you accountable to that.
Right.
I
Right.
said that twice, so I'm repeating myself. Okay. Now, what I want to do also is to say this is a good time for you to reinvent yourself. Okay, what is it that you've always wanted to do? Are you supposed to write a book? What is it that you're supposed to do for your life? What is your purpose? This is a good time for you to be thinking about that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
is this some time where you think, well, gee whiz, I really love to write. I really want to write a book. I need to write that book. Every day you should be getting up and you should be writing. You should
Right.
say, praise the Lord. I have free time. I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting paid unemployment, or I'm getting paid on my job. I don't have the stress. Now I can write my book.
Mm-hmm.
You're 2 months into this. Your book should be almost halfway done because you've had a lot of free time on your hands. I hope we're not watching a lot of TV.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we're not watching a lot of Netflix
Right.
or Pure Flix or whatever you want to call it, okay? That's not where we're living, because guess what? This is a really important time. The Lord showed me something that I'm really excited about, and I'm trying to slow down because, Pastor Andre, you know I get excited. And I
No,
get
that's good. No, we want you to be excited.
But what happens is the Lord said, this is a leap year. It is a year for the body of Christ to leap forward. We're supposed to leap forward. We're supposed to leap over. We're supposed to end up ahead. So coming out of this COVID-19, we can, get all scary and all that kind of stuff, which God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So we don't have to be afraid. So that being the sense of what is happening, we need to be on a serious leap forward program. Leap forward in our finances,
That's good.
leap forward in our purpose, leap forward in everything that relates to us. We ought to just be catapulting out there. Man, I'm telling you, when I get out of this thing, I'm going to be like a cannonball, shot out further ahead.
That's good.
Because I'm not going to linger. And I'm not going to allow this time to be lost time. Remember, we've always learned, and even Bishop Butler used to say this, preparation time is not lost time.
Right.
And we know that. And so this is preparation time. So let's say your finances are in great shape. You're A-OK. What about your will? This is a good time to reevaluate your will. How about you don't have a will? What about writing a will? This is a good time to evaluate your medical directives. Do you have medical directives? What's happening with the people, for example, that are in nursing homes? Okay, do they have medical directives? They can't see their relatives. You're not in touch with them. And so this is a great time for the medical directives that you need to put in place. What about in your life, your whole credit card? You need to evaluate your credit card situation. Do you need all those credit cards? Are your credit cards? What is the information in your credit history? Okay, is there something this is a good time to clean up your credit. This is a good time to write letters, to work through, to get yourself financially strong. There's so many things that we can be doing during this time. What about in cases of business, okay, we obviously have a number of businesses. And the business in particular I'll talk about is my husband's business because he's an orthodontist.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming off tomorrow, and I'm so excited that I have my own personal orthodontist who can personally take off my braces. I am so blessed. Hallelujah. So my braces come off tomorrow. But listen to this. We have to be smart. When we come back to work, we are going to, and somebody asked about student loans. Yes, you need to call about student loans because yes, student loans are also being deferred. There was a 6-month deferral on student loans and you need to take advantage of that. But in your business, you need to make sure that you're preparing for what it looks like coming back. For us, for example, we are a health service industry, a dental business. So what that means is that we've got to make sure that we're 6 feet spaced apart. We've got to make sure that we put up sneeze guards or plastic shields in every area. What we're doing now is we are making those determinations so that physically we can start back up our business when we can.
Right.
Also, what we did, and I recommend that if you haven't done it, please, please, please do it, is the Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP that everyone has been talking about. We applied for the PPP. Of course, we got accepted for the PPP. Don't let what you hear on the news. If you watch the news, if that's your favorite buddy or your favorite source of information, change your source because they are not giving you all of the information that you need.
Right.
When I was studying for TV, one of the things that they told me for my television show is make sure you bring controversy into it. And so news is all about controversy. So don't believe that the money has run out unless you know that the money has run out. Okay, so if you can apply for the PPP, if you're a nonprofit organization, if you are a business with less than 500 people, you can apply for the PPP. And if you spend the money the way that it has been designed and the guidance has been established, then you can actually convert that, or the bank will convert that to a grant. So in essence, it's free money.
Right.
Basically. And so that's something that every entrepreneur should be applying for. Somebody asked, should you pay off your credit cards? Remember what we talked about. Right now, you're getting credit card relief because the name of the game in the long term, because we don't know how long this is going to go on, is to build up your bank account with cash. That's the name of the game. So we're not spending any extra money. We are bringing into our coffers money that would normally have gone out. And we're not necessarily accelerating any debt payoff because there is no intrinsic value to do that at this time. That's a very rare statement. Usually I would say to you, absolutely, get out of debt, pay off your credit cards. But no, what you need to do is you need to be cash strong right now. Because let's say, for example, we don't know what's going to happen. We believe God that this is going to get, they're going to find a vaccine, that we're not going to have these problems, that there won't be a reoccurrence. But if there is a reoccurrence, and if there's a second shutdown, or if something else happens, like these murder hornets.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like this stuff is biblical proportions.
Right. You think you're in a tribulation
this
almost.
Is really coming back. Come on, somebody. You better have some cash in your bank account. Okay? So, no, we're going to keep as much cash as we can. We're going to keep it and set it aside so that in the event that some other eventuation occurs, we will be in a position from a cash standpoint to be able to handle a good cash flow. So we're going to cut down anything that we don't need. We're going to cut down. Matter of fact, we're not taking any trips. We're not taking, because airlines, you can't go anywhere. 95%, 97% of the fleet is closed.
Right.
What should we look at in terms of investing? And I'm not giving investment advice, so please don't take it as that. I'm just telling you from my opinion of things that we are doing, because I'm not licensed to tell you about that. But if you look at what's happening, the Fed is in the basement printing out money, printing out trillions and trillions of dollars. Eventually, that's going to catch up. Eventually, that's going to cause some level of inflation. A hedge against inflation is investing in gold and silver. So if you could buy it, if you could find it, because that's like huge now, people are doing that. Then you might want to invest in something tangible. You might want to invest in some gold, some silver. What's happening with the stock market? I don't think that has hit the bottom, and so we've got to be careful about that. I was reading just this weekend that Warren Buffett said that he's liquidated all positions in airlines. So if you were thinking, oh, this is a good time to buy airlines, the stock is cheap. Well, I look at the Oracle of Omaha, and he's saying, I'm getting out of all of my holdings in airlines. My question is, what does he know that I don't know? I don't study it like he studies it.
Right.
So if I was thinking about investing in something like that, or moving a position into something like that, then I wouldn't do that. There's a question there. How about home renovations? Man, my house is smoking. It's on fire being renovated. We're doing all kinds of things. We've cleaned out all our closets. We've cleaned out all of our storage. This is a good time if you can do it within the resources that you have within your house. Within your house. Okay, somebody said they work for the airlines and he put you in a bad position. Don't worry about it. Remember, God is our source. See, we have a secret way of dealing with some of these things. The airlines will eventually come back. We understand that. But what I'm talking about from the perspective of investments, I bet you if you looked at what you're invested in, and that's a good thing, look at your portfolio. What are you invested in? Go and get your financial statement from, let's say, for example, if you have a 401k and you're invested in a particular index fund. What is that index fund? Okay, what's in the fund? You say, well, I don't know. Well, guess what? We have plenty of time to find out. We've got time on our hands. The one precious commodity that we have, and we must all remember this, that is irreplaceable, is time.
Right.
And we now have time. And so you can go into your portfolio, evaluate it, look at it, and see if it's still consistent with where you are. And so these are some of the things in terms of businesses. I think there was a question of how do you protect yourself? Well, we can definitely make sure that we're getting the mask, the N95 mask, because those are the best. We can make sure that we get a shield. I know it looks like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it protects you. It protects you against people that you're coming in contact with. And you don't know. The thing about the coronavirus is that they do not know. They know that it's transmitted, and you may not know that you have it, and you're transmitting. So it's asymptomatic, and you can still transfer. So you want to make sure that you are protecting yourself, using wisdom, using good wisdom in making decisions. Don't go to places that you don't need to go. I would not be the first one out the house, okay? If when they open up, I'm only going to do those things that I need to do. I'm not going to run and do a lot of different things. Okay, there's a couple of questions. I'll switch gears and come back to some points. What is a Roth IRA? A Roth IRA is when you take after-tax dollars and you put them in an IRA, and it's called a Roth IRA. And so those dollars are after-tax dollars. They grow in a IRA structure, retirement plan. It's in your name. It's subject to the rules of the pension funds, meaning that it's you can only make certain deposits that would allow you to be able to have tax-free uh, interest. So the whole point of an IRA, why would you invest in an IRA versus a traditional IRA? Let me back up and say this. There are two types of IRAs. One is your traditional IRA that you put money into, and that money is generally pre-taxed, okay? Meaning that you don't pay taxes on the money until you take the money out. When you invest in an IRA, you put the money in and you are subject to all of these pension rules. The premium rules that come into play are you can't take the money out until you're 59 and a half, or there is an additional 10% penalty for you doing that. If you're over 59 and a half, you can take it out, but then you are subject to taxes. You have to pay the taxes. The theory is that when you take the money out, your tax bracket is lower than what your tax bracket was when you were putting the money into a traditional IRA. And so many people opt for the traditional IRA because it's tax free on the front end, and it's a tax expense on the back end when you are at a lower tax bracket, and therefore you're not paying as much in taxes. Okay, so that's the theory of that. The theory of the Roth IRA is that you've maxed out and you want to have another vehicle, and so you have money that you want to put into, but it's after tax money. And so you're putting money in and you're earning interest on that money, but it's set aside as a Roth IRA, which you can access. Now, what you decide to do depends on your own personal financial situation. When you look at life these days, I mean, well, I'll just use me as an example. I don't plan to retire, okay? So I might slow down. I might do it a little differently. My hours might be flexible, but I'm not going to retire. And so I'm going to be making money, okay? Because I believe I'm anointed to make money. Bless the Lord. And so I believe that we are to be good stewards of what God has allowed us to have so that we can make money and be a blessing to many. Okay. And so what I'm saying is that I'm going to be working for a long time, but there'll come a time when my income may go from active income to passive income. It may go from active income to investment income. So I'm going to be making some adjustments, and I've made, my husband and I made some adjustments in our portfolios as we get older. The older we get, the more adjustments we make. You have to make a decision, and this is a real question, as to where are you putting your eggs? What basket are you putting your eggs in? Are you putting the eggs in your basket of your house, which means that you pay off your mortgage and you have equity in your house, and you're able to use the equity in your house as a line of credit, and you borrow off of that. It goes up and down over the years, and your house becomes the source of cash flow. You can use that, okay, depending on what happens with the value of the real estate, but typically real estate will come back, but that may be something if it's paid off. Then you can go to the stock market, okay? The stock market is another source of investment, and this puts your assets in the hands of other individuals, companies, individuals who manage companies that actually perform. You need to know where your money is, okay? So if you're investing in a company that is making bad financial decisions, companies that have lots of debt, companies that don't pay dividends, if you're investing in a lot of companies like that, then you might see a lot more fluctuation. You might have a lot of problems, and you might be looking at your portfolio and saying, oh my gosh, what's happening here? But you have to look at the underlying companies that support whatever your investment is. You can also invest in real estate, in apartments. Some people buy apartment buildings and they lease out apartment buildings, or they buy houses and they lease out houses, so they make their money in rental income. We're talking about income in addition to your day job, because I think everybody understands at this point you need more than a day job.
Right.
Amen. Hallelujah. Let me have some.
Yeah.
I didn't
Some
see
emojis.
one
Yeah.
heart. Oh, just one heart. It's like no hearts. Come on, give me some love.
There we go.
You got to have more than your day job.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're a speaker, maybe you can do some public speaking. Maybe you can write articles for a newspaper. There are lots of things that you can do to increase your resources, okay? Because we have to have different income streams. So I was saying that real estate might be something, and you need to have a diversification in your portfolio. Okay, so if you're just in one area, or you're very strong in one area, and that area tanks, so that investment strategy takes a fall, then you should be able to play off of your other investments, and it shouldn't be just that one thing. We have money in the stock market, but we really like real estate. So real estate is our portfolio. We have a substantial portfolio of real estate, and we're very comfortable with that. So when the market fluctuates, we're not we're not praying, Lord, please help, hurry up, this and that. No, we're not losing hope. We're not, stressing out. We know that it's ups and downs. And so it becomes very important for you to make sure that you know how your portfolio is diversified, and what's called asset allocation, how your assets are allocated in classes. Now I'm giving you a serious class of this.
Good, though.
I don't want to get into it too deep because I don't want to lose anybody, but these are really important concepts. These are basics. These are the basics. Okay, so we talked about retirement. We talked about the fact that we need to make sure that we have more than our day job going on. We talked about the fact that with COVID-19, we have time on our hands. With this time, what are we going to do? We are going to reevaluate what it is that we are doing for our purpose. Are we in our purpose? Maybe this is a good time to switch. Maybe they said take tithes and offerings. That is so funny. Praise the Lord. We hear your heart. Yes, you need to pay your tithes and offerings. Praise the Lord. And so we need to evaluate your purpose. Are you in your purpose? This might be a good time for you to start putting your feelers out there, putting your resume out there. This is also a good time for you to understand what's happening digitally. There's so many digital opportunities. One of the things that I had a business in China, some of you know that, and I decided to get out of China, because I felt that the product that they were developing for me, unless I actually have flown over to Shanghai or Beijing to make sure to check my product, that I wasn't getting the quality of product and I just said, it's just not worth it. I can't fly to China every month just to check on product. I need to be able to have some consistency in the quality. And so I decided not to do that. But my point is that the world is available to you to do business.
Right.
So you can keep your day job. You can work through the internet, a business. Now, I know a lot of you out there have got ideas and business ideas. Why not try it on the internet?
Yeah.
Let's say if you're an author, for example, write an article, post the article, send the article to your friends. Get on Instagram, talk about the article. Get on Facebook, publish the article, copyright the article. You can do a lot of things from your home right now. Okay, you can start your business right now. You can be rolling by the time you get out of this lockdown that we're in. So think about, what is it that you love to do? What is it that you are gifted to do? Let's just say you want to switch gears. This is a great time to go on Amazon and get some books, or go on to Audible and listen to books. She says, I need to revisit my dominating money. Boy, you are flowing in the Holy Ghost, because that's what I'm doing, rewriting dominating money. So there'll be another edition, which will be a totally different one. So you need to look out for that. But yeah, you need to make sure that you're using the digital platform so that you're able to produce your business. Write an article, do some lectures, whatever you're good at. Do what you do. If you're not good at it and it's something you want to do, get on Audible, get on Amazon, buy books and read. I know it's a lost art. Or listen, because what's happening is that if you study a topic for 3 years, you can become an expert in that topic. If you only study and we just focus on that particular topic for 3 years, you can become expert in that topic. So my recommendation is, if there's a switch, you want to make a shift in your career, start now. This is a total reset. It's a total opportunity for you to be you, for you to be your best you, for you to be your great you, for you to do the things that we need to do, so that we're on fire. I can't wait to get outside. Don't even let me get excited. I mean, they're gonna have to hold me down by the time they let us out, because I have put so much in motion. So much emotion. Some of us will be post-pandemic. That's what I'm talking about. Post-pandemic rich. That's right. Because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be using the resources, not just financial resources, but your talents, your gifts, your abilities. You're going to be employing them in a different way, using the dynamic opportunity that we have, which is digital. Okay? Think digital, because a lot of things are going digital. And I think what people have learned out of the COVID-19 or coronavirus is that you can do a lot from home. If you can control your environment, like I have my dog upstairs, so he can't be running around barking. Okay? But you can find your quiet place. You can find your quiet time. And let's just say, you know what? You just, at that point where you just like, I just don't know. I've been spending 2 hours in prayer every day. That's a big deal for me. 2 hours, I'm like on it. I'm like jumping on it. I'm hearing from God. God is excited. I see some of my prayer partners on this, and we are praying. We are praying out the mysteries of God. The more we pray, the deeper it gets. The more God reveals. And so I'm working. I'm praying. I'm allowing God to move in my life. I'm allowing him to shift me. I don't have anything in my way to hold me back. I can't say I got to go to work, because I can work from my house. I can do my work whenever I want to do my work, okay? And so there's nothing holding me back from hearing from God. There's nothing holding me back from getting into my purpose. There's nothing holding me back from getting money set aside, so that when I get ready to go out, I'm more well-heeled than when I came in. There's nothing in my way. There is nothing. I'm the only thing in the way. So I'm challenging you. This is the second challenge. Get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. And when you get out of your own way, then God will show you something, or something will come up. It's getting so tight with the Lord right now that I just have to think about something, and then somebody calls me about the very thing I was thinking about, and I was going to call them. It can get really deep with God. You can get really deep with God. And you can really allow God to show you and reveal himself to you in a way that you haven't known him before. And so I'm saying to you that financially, it's a rare opportunity that you can garner your financial resources, pool them, and sit them aside. And the good news is you can't go out anyway to spend it.
Right.
You can't get your hair done, can't get your nails done, can't get a haircut, can't go to the barber. I mean, we are literally, I think that, you know, when I think about how does God play into this, I think God is setting us up for a real big comeback. He's setting us up to have the resources, to be on point, and to be on a mission, on purpose, to fulfill the next season. And I don't believe it's a season. I said season, but I don't believe it's a season. I believe, at least what God has told me, is that this is a new era. An era is the beginning of a new, when an era happens, when an era is a demarcation in time. It means something has stopped and something else started. It's a whole new season. And so think about this. If like 9/11 was the changing of an era, okay, you'll understand it better that way. When 9/11 happened, you were no longer going to the gate to kiss your loved ones goodbye when they got on a plane.
Right.
When 9/11 happened, you know, there were certain things you could no longer do. It was a total change in the way of life. And so this era is a total change in the way of life. And what God is doing, he's positioned us. He's taken us like the children of Israel, who when they left Egypt, they went with the silver and they went with the gold. Remember that? They got paid for their wages, okay, that they never received because they were slaves. And so what's happening is we're getting an opportunity to reset financially. So we're going into this era. And this era will be, the demarcation of this era will be known as the era that began with the coronavirus.
Right.
But when we go into this era, there are going to be some great things that God has prepared for us to walk into in this era if we are prepared. We cannot see this like other people see it. And I'm not, you know, saying anything about other people. This happened lately. Biggest thing that has happened lately. And one of the things that we're going to experience is a new way of doing things all across the board. Like people are asking about their health. People are more conscious of their health. People are going to be more conscious about working out. People are going to be more conscious about going to gyms and making sure that they're taking care of the equipment. People are going to be much more conscious about taking care of their health, their immediate health conditions. Why, you know, our grandparents used to say, wash your hands, don't forget to wash your hands. Well, that was true then, and it's true now. So we need to make sure that we're washing our hands. We need to be more conscious. Are we overweight? Do we need to get our health? Do we need to walk? We can get out and walk, exercise. Are we exercising our bodies? Are we making sure that we're taking care of ourselves? Are we eating properly? Are we drinking a lot of water? Are we doing all of the things that we know that we need to do? Because this season, we're leaping ahead. Remember, this is leap year. I said that in the beginning. This is a leap year. And when a leap goes like this, it goes way over the rainbow. It goes way over the rainbow. And so you want to leap into this future. You want to come out of this thing where you are just full. I mean, you want to be in your house. I mean, Holy Spirit ought to be all over you. You want to be like, Lord, just turn me loose on the world. I got something to offer. I have something to deliver. I have something to do. So let's go back to the businesses. That means that your business has to be prepared to receive customers. If you're a nail salon, they're putting up the plastic shields where you just stick your hands underneath. Okay, if you are in an environment where you have people that are coming in contact with customer contact, you're going to have to make sure your people have gloves. You're going to make sure that they have shields. You're going to make sure that they only certain number of people in the business at the time. Okay, if you work outside, you're going to have to make sure that you are that you are walking around, if you're going out to the supermarket or whatever, you're going to have to make sure that you are wearing your mask, that you are wearing your gloves until such time as we don't have to do that anymore. It's not for always, but it is for now. And we don't want to, we don't want to test to see if we can not wear a mask. Now, I go for a walk. When I'm out walking, I do pull my mask down so I can breathe. But I'm out in the open air, okay? If I go to a store, I'm going to have my gloves on and I'm going to have my mask on. When we receive deliveries, they stay out in the garage for a day, okay? Because they found out that the COVID virus stays on the box can stay on cardboard for 72 hours. And so this is a time to be informed.
Right.
This is a time to preserve your cash. This is a time to be in your purpose. This is a time to hear from God.
Right.
This is a time to enjoy your life. You're well. You're on this Instagram. You're able to do this. You're able to connect with other people, hit that heart and show some love. You're able to be a blessing. Okay, so those are the things that have been on my mind.
It's good stuff.
You have to reinvent yourself. You have to take every opportunity to say, you know what? I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I got this. I'm good. I'm straight.
Right.
It's good. And so these are very exciting times. These are times where as we go forward, we should be looking for opportunities and looking for opportunities to bless. And I just want to say this because the Lord has been dealing with me about the poor. Okay, now I know a lot of people say, well, I'm the poor. No, there are poor people that are in greater need than maybe you are. Where they may be elderly people, they may be children, there may be people in different circumstances. Every day, I look for a way to bless somebody. It may be a phone call. It may be a text of encouragement. I don't know. Each day is something different. Sometimes I go through my phone and I find old pictures of people and I say, hey, thinking about you. Remember this? Remember that? Every day, find a way to be a blessing to somebody. How about cooking? Praise the Lord about that. Doing more cooking, just the wonderful things that you can learn to do in this time and in this season. Did you have any questions, Pastor?
No.
Pastor Andre, I've just been talking my little
No, this is good. This is good. We're pretty much there at the time, but I wanted to see, is there a particular website they should go to kind of stay connected with you? I know you guys have had a number of them. I don't know what the latest one is.
It's really interesting. I'm actually in the process of redoing my website.
Okay.
And so now you're pulling on me, which I'm doing. I have an appointment scheduled, and I'm working on redoing my website and just totally reconfiguring it by the end of the month. But it's my name, CatherineEagan.com. But it may be down for a while, but it will be up again. So yeah.
But this has been great. Of course, you guys can follow her here on Instagram as well. She's got that, and you can search for her on Google, and you can find a truckload of stuff. This has been so rich. I so appreciate you taking the time to just pour into us here. And obviously with Instagram, they'll give me a minute left before it shuts off. But this live will be available all day for those who are connecting with this. Share this so people can connect to this. They can get a hold of this. I'm going to take this and probably have the screen recorded, but I'm going to put it on Facebook like I always do as well, because this information, frankly, this is worth like thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, and you just got it for free. So thank you guys for connecting with us. Thank you so much, Catherine, for being such a blessing to us. We love you. We appreciate you.
Love you too.
And looking forward to seeing you take off like a rocket ship when this thing is over. Right?
That's for sure. The space shuttle.
That's right. Well, love you. And see you all later.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.